Well, a really interesting situation has been playing out amongst the Apex Legends pro scene, and in a retirement that was even shorter than Rambo's, it looks like Realm has already decided to come back just mere days after saying that they were canceling and postponing this, and that includes them deleting all of their own tweets saying they were ending all of their stuff. It's very weird. At the most, a lot is happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, and there's some lies being spread. And at the least, this is just an example of some of the worst marketing and PR I've ever seen, and the Twitter guy needs his phone taken away. But there's a lot to get into about it. If you guys don't know, Realm is the fastest growing esports community, according to their website. This was a place where you could go and you could solo queue in a situation where they had their own ranked queues ranked, but it was more of a competitive atmosphere. So you could go in solo, you would automatically be grouped into teams, and you could play in a competitive Apex environment for cash prizes. There was Tier 1, which was kind of invite-only and known pros, and then there was Tier 2, which was like Masters up and above. They had this both for North America and for Europe. And overall, it was a pretty good system. People enjoyed it. It was by far the most popular thing on Apex streaming, such as on Twitch, YouTube, Kick. Everyone was just playing the Realm. There wasn't anyone grinding ranked anymore. It was all about the Realm. Whether you were in Tier 1 Realm or you're in the Crucible, it was all about the Realm. That is honestly why they decided, hey, we're going to make some changes to Realm Solo Queue after feedback from players because we want to improve on the system. So here's a breakdown. We're going to discontinue the ELO system. We're going to utilize points more for matchmaking. They basically decided to revamp their system, and things were going great. And all of that was the case until May 1st, just a couple of days ago, where this post was tweeted out by Fallout, but it was actually leaked into the Twitter sphere by someone we don't know who leaked it. But this was a message sent to the professional top-level players in both Europe and North America. Some admin posted, just so it doesn't come out as too much of a shock, we will be canceling/pausing the solo queue after today, the solo queue experience that they had built that everyone knew colloquially as the Realm. After the feedback from the community on both sides, it's clear that this is not working the way we had hoped. We were going to be putting a hold on Team Q, which we had originally planned to launch May 15th. We will keep you updated if things change here. We'll be announcing all of this on Twitter this evening. As of tomorrow, you won't be able to queue on Realm. With Season 17 ranked changes, there is lots of exciting content coming to Apex for you to grind. Thank you for playing Realm, and we wish you the best in your esports career. As an aside, we will start paying you out over the next week or two. And this part at the bottom is very interesting. There were lots of people working behind the scenes to try and make this not work out. So at some point, we need to exit with some respect. We have to keep that in mind. There were people working behind the scenes to try and make this not work out. Who were those people, right? It's obviously not any sort of players, because all players are doing is playing the Realm. They're not playing ranked. You have essentially vacated the ranked playlist of top-level talent. They're all playing your system now, right? So you would think that it is not the players that are upset about this, but you can see here, if we move over to this next tweet of theirs, it says, contrary to popular rumors, Realm closed our solo queue mainly based on player feedback. Players were playing less and less. Overall sentiment became negative and a new format was required, which we could just immediately start off by saying was not true. Yes, there were some players that were playing less than before, but frankly, that's because these pro players, they have something more important to prepare for, which is Apex Legends Global Series Regional Finals. That happens on May 7th. There's a lot of scrimmages and things that happen during the week, and it happens usually at the end of these Realm times. Because of that, people at the top level were stopping playing around 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern, and were hopping over to the scrims to practice with their team so they could prepare for the big tournaments, the things they all play for. So that's the main reason why people weren't playing as much during those hours. The queues were still fairly popular during the day. People were playing even when it's right in the middle of a work day. So it was still a very successful thing. And you saw that based off how much content was made through Realm and not through ranked. So it's hard to believe immediately that the players were the reason for this being shut down. And Realm was kind of adamant about other people being at fault here. Not necessarily at fault, but they did say, we will dispel one rumor in the meantime. Don't let fake news fallout fool you. The Twitter guy's a mess. We'll start talking about them later. This decision had nothing to do with crypto. Cutnoid has the real alpha anyways. In Fallout's tweet, He posted that Realm was widely speculated to have been backed by Canadian cryptocurrency investors with reported plans for using crypto and other blockchain services as part of their business model for Apex Legends. Speculations are surfacing that this may be a cause of their exit. So that would make sense, right? If it was the case that Realm just didn't have enough money, it would make sense. You know, a lot of esports are being hit pretty hard right now. It's hard to put money into anything esports related, especially if you're not making a lot of profit on the other side of it. And Realm just wasn't. They didn't have a main broadcast at that point. They weren't, you know, you didn't have to pay to get in. So I have no idea how they were getting their money. They were obviously backed by big investors. So if they did have just happened to run out of money, it would have been perfectly reasonable. Everyone would have accepted it and even applauded them and said, hey, we're sorry you ran out of money, but we appreciate what you're trying to do. It sucks that esports is where it's at right now, but that's where we are. But instead, the Realm decided to call them fake news fallout and decided to double down on it not being anything related with crypto, which is odd because that would be even more of a good thing, you would think. Yeah, we all kind of think crypto is a scam right now, and honestly, it probably is. But the fact is, you're still trying to put money into the scene. So to say fake news fallout, you're kind of already antagonizing a very beloved person on the Apex Legends scene. And they say, @Cutnoid has the real alpha anyways, which is just also funny because as you see on Cutnoid's Twitter, he tweeted this out. Last night, Realm tagged me saying I had access to an alpha. I don't. In fact, I don't even know what that's referring to. But I can confirm through sources that Realm expressed interest in paying players in crypto, which EA prohibits. Realm did not respond for comment. So immediately, I don't know what is going on in the mind of the Realm Twitter user. He's got to have his phone taken away or something because he is causing several problems. He's antagonizing people on Twitter, going after Fallout, calling them fake news Fallout, and then tagging someone else saying, hey, back me up, bro, when this bro, Cutnoid, had no idea what they were talking about. So I don't know where he thought this great idea was that, I don't know why he thought it was such a great idea to send, oh, hey, yeah, Cutnoid knows what we're doing. And he didn't actually know. Like, how do you put your public trust, you know, all the trust that the public has in you into someone else's hands when you don't even know that they know? Like, they don't know what you're talking about. So regardless, at the minimum, it's a PR nightmare and their Twitter guy is horrific. But don't worry. If you were worried about the Realm shutting down, hey, not a problem. Because guess what? The Realm returns 2 days later. This is a retirement shorter than Rambo's off of Sentinels and potentially joining Dark Zero before that didn't happen either. Introducing the Realm Champions League, a Monday through Friday invitational league for the top professional teams in Apex Legends. 3 months, $120,000, broadcast every night, 7 p.m. Eastern daily, launching May 15th. And then it goes on to say a Champions League is now the pinnacle of their team queue system. So now it's not solo queue. It's all going to be teams. It's going to be invited that they will get Europe into this at some point. At the bottom, it says there has been much speculation from community members. Fortunately, with the continued support from EA and Respawn, we will keep bringing you premium Apex content. With much more on the near horizon, pro teams will be contacted with invites. More details coming soon. And then they've been responding to people saying, hey, you know, we'd love to get, you know, some big streamers to cast our main stream. We're going to be finding a way to get Challenger Circuit teams in there. We're going to be paying people out. Also, this one here, this was our initial plan after the first season, that they always had that initial plan. But what I can't show you here, and unfortunately you're going to have to take my word for it, is several tweets that the Realm deleted about saying we're postponing it, about how we're canceling it, we're shutting down. They ended up deleting all those within the last day and coming back on May 3rd and saying, surprise, it was all a joke. This was the plan all along. And it doesn't track. It doesn't really make sense. So honestly, I've got 3 theories as to what could have been happening. So the first theory is the most harmless one. They ran out of money. The investors, whether it was crypto or oil or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter what it was backed on. What matters was that they potentially were running out of money and they couldn't afford to put this on anymore because they had promised $150,000 to North America and to Europe. So $300,000 total. That's not including the cost to run it, the cost to own the website. If their admins are getting paid and this wasn't just a passion project, paying all of them. So obviously it's super expensive and no one would have blamed them for that. What I think is a little bit more interesting is when we look at that tweet that said, actually the post in the Discord message that said, many people were working behind the scenes to ensure this didn't work. That to me makes me think, that it had to be something involving the development side of the game. Because they talked about how we listen to both sides, right? We listen to both sides of the community. Well, this is only the pro community because casual players can't get into it. So the only side there is pros. It's not pros versus casuals. So what's the other side of the coin? It's development. It's EA and it's Respawn. That's the only other side of the coin there is. There's top level players and then there's Respawn. So my assumption is that on May 1st, when all of the news came out about the new rank system being employed, perhaps EA and Respawn weren't too happy about their ranked system being totally dead. Perhaps they weren't happy that the Realm had done something better than they had to that point, and people were more interested in playing the Realm and in doing custom games than they were to play the ranked system. It makes ranked, the queues dead. It makes it look like there's less player retention for Apex and for them to show all their board members and things like that. So frankly, I can understand why it might be in their interest to try and have Realm shut down. Now, this is speculation. I don't know if any of this is true. This is just my assumption. It could be that EA and Respawn brought in the men in dark suits and shut down Realm solo queue. But then it's followed up after saying many people were working to get this shut down. It's followed up by saying we have continued support from EA and Respawn. They didn't name them earlier, and now all of a sudden they are naming them, but only when it's Team Q and it's certain Pro League teams and it's invite. Something else I want to point out, something that I think is fairly interesting, most third-party tournaments that you see are capped at $50,000. A lot of $50,000 tournaments happen with Apex. You don't see a lot more. So there could be some sort of legal issue that they were having where they couldn't pay out more than $50,000 for some of this stuff that they've got going on. It's a little bit odd, but now they're paying out $120,000, but it's only Pro League teams, which are teams that are working in coordination with EA and Respawn, so perhaps there's a cut there. It's a lot of weird stuff. At the bare minimum, and this is option number 3, the Realm has no idea what they're doing. At the bare minimum, their Twitter guy is awful, right? Their Twitter guy is antagonizing people. He's having to delete former tweets. He's making a mess, and he's making a fool of himself. So many people think the Realm Twitter guy's a mess already. That's besides the point. But it could just be that the Realm really has no idea what they're doing. That they tackled this massive project and they don't know when to not say something, when to stay quiet on social media. And so it's been a lot of confusion, and it's been a very, very interesting 3 days. And I don't know if we've seen the end of it. I don't even know if the Realm is actually going to be able to pull off this Champions League thing. Who knows? Maybe the Champions League is going to sue them, the soccer one, the real one. But at this point, we have no idea. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. I think this is one of the strangest things I've ever seen as far as a third-party system existing, thriving, and then saying they were shut down by nefarious actors, but then blaming the players that were making it work, and then saying they were retiring, and then coming back with a new system and saying, this was the plan all along. At the minimum, they just look ridiculous to me. But I'm still rooting for the Realm. I do think that this is a good thing for Apex, and I hope that whatever the heck is going on can be figured out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and that's pretty much it. See ya.